Hey, good morning. I'm Patricia Murphy. It's Friday. This is Seattle Now. This week, the famous Uncle Sam Billboard in southern Washington has a new owner. Well, sort of new owner. Notable Seattle celebrities have been the target of home invasions over the past several months. And it's raining men. Seattle is the most male-dominated major metro in the U.S. Author Danielle Marie Holland and KEXP DJ Kennady Quille are here to break down the week. But first, let's get you caught up. Rallies and marches are happening in Seattle and across western Washington tomorrow. They're part of nationwide protests against the Trump administration's ICE raids. Protesters will march from Cal Anderson Park to Seattle Center beginning at noon tomorrow. Rallies are also planned in Tacoma, Shoreline, Renton, and other cities in the region. 3 school districts on the Washington coast have secured state funding to relocate several schools to higher ground and out of the tsunami zone. The low-lying schools in Ocean Shores, Cape Flattery, and the Quinault Indian Reservation could be swallowed up by a tsunami triggered by a megaquake. One school in Grays Harbor County can't be relocated because there's no nearby high ground. Ocean Shores Elementary will instead get a new evacuation tower. The Washington State Standard reports the $151 million in funding comes from the state legislature in the recently passed construction budget. And the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup kicks off on Sunday at Lumen Field. The Seattle Sounders will take on Botafogo, a club from Brazil, beginning at 7 p.m. In total, Lumen Field will host 6 Club World Cup matches lasting through June 25th. Check back for more headlines on tonight's episode of Seattle Now. It's Friday again. We had the summer weather, and then we just lost it. It slipped right through our fingers, like the sun. Danielle Marie Holland is here. She's an author and freelance writer for Parents Magazine and the South Seattle Emerald. Danielle, good to see you.
Lovely to see you again.
Kennady Quille is here as well. She's a DJ on KEXP, currently hosting Audio Oasis, where she breaks down the best of Seattle's local scene. Kennady, first time here. Welcome to the show.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me here.
Glad you are here. Okay, you two, before we dive in, this Sunday marks 1 year until Seattle welcomes 750,000 people into the city for the FIFA Men's World Cup, and the city decided to mark the occasion by unveiling a countdown clock at Seattle Center. All right, this thing counts down the seconds. They got very specific. For the next year, this thing is counting down to the moment where our infrastructure might fail. Is this just way too long for a countdown clock? A year seems so far out.
Yeah, it feels like a doomsday clock to me.
Ooh, setting the tone early, Kennady.
I don't know. I'm just like, every single person in Seattle who I talk about the FIFA World Cup with is like, I'm leaving town.
Oh, God.
It's going to be wild.
It's going to be wild.
Yeah. I don't know. A year, it does seem like a long time. Like, do I start renting out my driveway, my home now? Or am I going to get a better rate if I wait till like the end of the countdown?
Yep. Also, one big caveat here. Axios Seattle says the clock's red digital numbers are somewhat faint and hard to see in the sun. This thing has one job, you two, and they couldn't even account for the next 4 months of sunshine when they built it.
It's only 4 months.
Tourists are so shocked when they come here and it's sunny and beautiful.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. No, to be fair, right. We only have 4 months of this problem.
Yeah, I mean,
by mid-September.
Like, it's going to look fine when it's pouring rain outside, and that's all that really matters, right?
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
That's right. All right. Well, on to the big story of the week. If you've ever driven south on I-5 past Olympia headed towards Portland, odds are you've seen the Uncle Sam Billboard with some sort of right-wing political messaging on it. It has a new owner. For the past few years, it's read, "How many Americans will we leave behind in Ukraine?" on one side. On the other, "No one died in World War II, so you could show papers to buy food." The sign has been up for more than 60 years. In that time, it's had anti-trans messages, insults directed at Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. I remember that one. And support for Republican candidates in upcoming elections. Have you seen this thing up close, either one of you?
Yes, I've driven by it. I mean, road trips,
Yes,
right?
anytime you go to Portland or Oregon or anywhere south of Washington.
It gives me a nice chance to roll my eyes on the drive.
Yes. No, I remember seeing all this as like a kid driving out to the Oregon coast and reading all these crazy messages.
Did anyone ever stick with you?
I was really trying to remember some, and I could not remember any specifically other than the last one that was up on there because that one was there for a long time. But this news of the local tribes taking it over is awesome.
Poetic justice.
It's so good.
So for listeners, the land under the billboard has been up for sale, and it has a new owner, the Confederated Tribes of the Chehalis Reservation. Maybe it's more accurate to say the land is being returned than it has a new owner. I think that's probably far more accurate. The future of the billboard, though, is undecided, according to the Seattle Times. A representative from the tribes told the Times that all he knows is that the current messaging is coming down. The realtor selling the land told the Times he's gotten a lot of calls about keeping it up. What do you think they should do with it?
I mean, they could just, troll for the next number of years, but her emails. I don't know. I'm sure someone's got a list of everything that was ever up there. Maybe it'll be a land back informational session with
that would be nice.
Yeah,
I would love that.
Educational outreach.
I don't know. I'm like, you do whatever the hell you want.
Whatever
with
you
it.
want.
I'm like, it was your land anyways. I don't.
They ceded the land 150 years ago. According to the Times.
I'm like, I'm just glad that they have control over that and that I don't have to see that eyesore of a billboard every time I'm driving down I-5.
That thing has been through it, too. Legally, the original owner won a lawsuit to keep it up. Physically, because an arsonist tried to burn it down in 2020, this thing attracts attention. There are so many more ways to express yourself politically than with this giant billboard. The Times says some people see the billboard as a monument to free speech. You think that's true?
Isn't calling it a monument a little bit grandiose? A monument, really? Yeah, I don't know about that.
The billboard is a monument to free speech.
Some people say so. Some people say so. What would you put on it? What would you put on it?
Nothing I can say on KUOW.
I would say, please try to be kind.
That's
please try
beautiful.
I love that.
That's beautiful.
I'm sensitive
Kindness
public
first.
radio type.
Love is abundant.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Can't we all just get along?
Love.
Can't we all just get along? Oh, or maybe KUOW.org. How about KUOW.org? Find us on KUOW.org.
Support your local public radio station at.
All right, moving on to our next topic. Home invasions can be terrifying. This week, a 21-year-old man was charged with 4 break-ins. It's noteworthy because the crimes were in the homes of Seattle area pro athletes while they were at games, at work. He got Mariners' Julio Rodriguez and Luis Castillo, Seattle native MLB pitcher Blake Snell, and former Seahawk Richard Sherman earlier this year. Seattle Reign forward Jordan Heidema was home when the home she shares with Rodriguez was broken into. This is a terrifying experience, you two. She was so smart about this. She heard the break-in when she was in the house. She figured she had 30 seconds to get everything she needed, including clothes and hide. And she hid in a water closet in the bathroom and heard them bust down the bedroom door. She feared for her life. She really thought, I just have to get through this. But
that's incredible. 30 seconds? She must have been doing those climate preparedness,
Seriously.
You grab your paper, you're this, you're that, get out. The hurricane's coming.
Yeah, when the big one comes.
Yeah.
Honestly, she did not get a lot of attention for this, but this was terrifying, and it's still messing with her. She says it's been months and she still gets scared. It sounds awful. Do players need to have people watch their houses while they're at games?
Obviously, someone was home. Would it make a difference?
Yeah,
if someone's
going to
break in, someone's going to break in. No,
right. Need a different person at home.
I'm I don't know.
It's so much money. I mean, I don't know what the range is of what people's incomes and wealth are when they're playing at these levels.
Yeah,
but that just seems like a whole different level of security and cost of living.
Well, I was like, don't you have a security system? Some cameras?
Well, and these guys were, okay, so from what I'm reading, they had cell phone jammers, cell signal jammers that they were using. This was not
real
amateur hour.
Effort.
This was not amateur hour for these folks. So,
gotcha.
Well, then
they
I don't know. I
knew
guess
what was up.
I think the ownership groups maybe could chip in for some Ring cameras and
we have the technology, people. If they can jam your phone, you can find their picture. Yeah. Well, in an unrelated case, thousands of dollars of items were stolen out of rapper Macklemore's Capitol Hill home this weekend. 2 men reportedly entered his home, sprayed his kid's nanny with bear spray.
Terrible.
Stole jewelry, watches, and shoes. again, terrifying assault, victim of a crime, right? But some weird oddities. The nanny told police that the guy who sprayed her with bear spray tried to help her wipe her eyes. She said he looked fearful.
Oh,
okay.
man.
I mean, he just wanted to get some stuff to bring to the thrift store.
I don't know why you
I'm so
even
sorry.
steal Macklemore's stuff. It's
I'm
all second
sorry.
hand.
I couldn't help myself. No, I mean, maybe he had no idea that there was going to be a nanny and kids in the house, and then realized the scale of what he had.
But they brought bear spray.
I know.
With them.
So they were prepared for something.
I guess so.
I don't know.
She went to neighbors. Like, she was knocking on neighbors' doors. Like, it was terrible, terrible. Do you feel secure in your home?
I mean, in the neighborhood I live in now, yes, I do. Have I in the past? Not really. I'm like, I have lived in multiple neighborhoods all over Seattle. Currently, I live in Eastlake. It's very quiet. It feels very neighborhoody. Before, I was living in First Hill for like 3 years. And like, I've had my car broken into. People have gotten into our apartment building. Like, there are just things that happen. But I don't know. I never felt that unsafe. Like, I've never been one to leave my windows open at night, but also I've never felt like someone's going to come break into my house.
You know what's
I don't know.
interesting is so there's a place that I have in mind that I lived in once in Seattle where I did not feel safe. There were so many people within proximity that were very unwell, and there was no social safety network supporting them. I don't know. I'm just cognizant of that as a major component. But I do feel in my current home very safe because my neighbors can all hear me singing. So should something happen, it's all right. I listen to my neighbors and their drum set. So
do you have a safety routine? I have a little bit of a safety routine at night.
What is it?
Well, just making sure everything's locked and,
lock the
just
doors.
doing the thing.
Yeah.
You know?
I've got a big dog who does not like strange men.
Yeah, I don't have a dog. I don't have a dog.
2 cats
I'll send him
with
over to
sharp
your
claws.
house.
I haven't cut my cat's nails in a while. Yep, she's probably more
No,
deadly
my
than
cats
me
would
right
probably make good friends with an intruder, I'm sure. They would be like, pet me, feed me.
It'll be a bridging experience. I came in here to steal something and maybe scare you, but now I really want to talk about,
This is what de-escalation looks like in the moment.
It takes work. We all got to roll up our sleeves.
I mean, I'm like, if you want to come in and steal my stuff, you want my weird vintage records, or do you want my 10-year-old laptop?
Honestly, okay, I'm not even kidding. I have very little to steal, but I also line up all of these cactuses on my windowsill, and I, in some twisted way, think that is a security system, that if somebody tries to open that and climb over,
That's
they're going to
nature's barbed wire right there.
They're going to get them and they're going to make noise.
I mean, that's no joke. I stepped on a cactus once growing up in Las Vegas, and it was very painful, and I had to be carried.
Okay, so maybe I'm being
situation.
more effective than I think I am.
Very
I'm making
smart.
fun of myself, but I'm smart.
Yes.
Is being notable different now than it has been in the past? Because it is so easy to find people online. I mean, a Colorado guy just made news this week because he was trying to get a California ID that listed his address as Taylor Swift's home address.
People are crazy.
I mean,
People have always been crazy. And I think the internet does make things more accessible for people.
Surveillance and data.
Yeah, but also I'm like, if people really want to find you, they'll probably find a way to find you.
Well, that is true.
And I think that also, like, with the Macklemore thing, he is kind of more of like an accessible celebrity. Like, he lives in Capitol Hill. Yeah. Like, I have seen him around town. I always tell people, you live in Seattle long enough, you'll see Macklemore.
Or Dave Matthews.
Yeah. Or Dave Matthews.
All right, one last thing before we go, you two. Seattle Times FYI guy Gene Balk has been digging into the 2023 census data lately. He says Seattle is dude city. He found that for every 100 women in Seattle, there are 107 men, the highest rate of any major metro area. We're short on guys here for perspective, but where does this show up for you? Do you notice?
I don't know why I have so many girlfriends, cis girlfriends, still saying they can't find a good man. The odds are in their favor. What is going on, gentlemen?
My first reaction to this, and I have this written down, is just, oh no, with like 7 O's. Oh no. I mean, it's definitely has to do with Seattle being a techie city.
Tech hiring.
I'm like, I work at a consignment store in the SLU Amazon area, and I sit there and I watch the men walk by me.
Oh, wow.
In their little tennis shoes all day long.
So you have your own little anecdata.
I do. I stare at them often. They're
Wow.
very well dressed.
And they're all dropping, equity hiring programs. So that number may just keep inching up over the next couple of years. It could be 200 men.
Oh, God.
To every woman.
But I was also thinking, I was like, it could, on the bright side, mean that more people are non-binary now.
Oh.
That would be ideal.
Those numbers weren't even included in this, and it's Pride Month.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Come on.
Seattle was just one of 17 cities that have more men than women in their adult population. I want to know how many of these men are sensitive hiker types that enjoy quiet nights and active listening. That's what I want to know.
Long walks on the beach.
Yeah. Kick off those Crocs and chill.
What's with the Seattle men in the rain with the shorts and the flip-flops?
Oh, my God.
That is a Seattle thing, because when I moved here from Los Angeles over a decade ago, I would just look at my son and be like, don't you ever.
I have had this conversation with so many people, sometimes even in the summertime. When I know it's technically appropriate, I'm still like, what's wrong with you? Put it away.
Gene Bach also notes that in 2010, Seattle had 97.6 men for every 100 women. So this is a population change that's drastic over the past decade and a half. Is this proportion really good for anyone who benefits from Dude City?
Apparently our tech companies. I don't know. Hire more women.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Danielle Marie Holland is an author and freelance writer. Kennady Quille is a DJ at KEXP. Thanks, Kennedy.
Oh, thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Thanks, Danielle.
Thank you.
Appreciate you listening to Seattle Now. Today's episode was produced by Vaughn Jones. It was edited by Caroline Chamberlain Gomez. Our production team also includes Andy Hurst, Brooklyn Jamerson Flowers, and Paige Browning. Greg Kramer does our theme music. Seattle Now and KUOW Public Radio are members of the NPR network. I'm Patricia Murphy. See you soon.